Good morning and thanks for joining us on today's edition of Prime Flash on My Media Prime with me, Audrey Zatsa. After viral videos in which some youths and adults were seen engaging in sexual practices in some clubs in the city of Douala, 3 security elements stormed the area and arrested many, including close to 50 young girls. They were caught red-handed in a snack bar and other places Saturday in an operation aimed at putting an end to moral decadency in the municipality. According to the DO who coordinated the operation, it was imperative to save lives of these young Cameroonians who are going wayward. Stakeholders are committed to fight against the consumption of shisha. Stakeholders involved in the fight against drug consumption took the commitment during a seminar organized by the National Drugs Control Committee in collaboration with the World Health Organization to seek ways to discourage the consumption of tobacco and its derivatives. The seminar equally brought to the fore an intense debate on the control of the consumption of shisha amongst youths. Presiding over the workshop, Buka Umed, head of the Legal Affairs and Litigation Division at the Ministry of Public Health, recommended that the multisectoral meeting be convened to examine in depth the issue, which has become a real danger for our youths. Cameroon's Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malashi, has extended the period for the national vaccination campaign against COVID-19. According to a press release signed by the Public Health Minister November 22, the campaign that ended Sunday, November 21, has now been extended to Sunday, November 28. Going by the release, the minister noted that the extension is due to the enthusiasm exhibited by the various communities nationwide, with many showing positive interest on getting vaccinated, while stipulating that the vaccination targets mostly those above the age of 18. The release pointed out that vaccination teams will move to public settings such as markets, churches, enterprises, and administrative institutions. And still talking about vaccination, over 900 civil servants have been vaccinated, with the figures forecasted to surpass 1,000 earmarked last week. The Minister of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, Joseph Lay, was speaking after paying a visit to the vaccination team at his ministerial department to encourage the civil servants and health workers. Statistics published as per the vaccination figures that the East region leads the way with 108 civil servants vaccinated, closely followed by the Northwest and Far North regions of the country. A platform to advocate for the return of the federal system of government in Cameroon has been launched. The coalition of Cameroon Federalist Group and activists was launched over the weekend during a virtual press conference. Lasha Kingsley tells us more.
With the chair as Dr. Simon Monzo, the coalition of Cameroon Federalist groups and activists has as mission to work towards the re-establishment of federalism in Cameroon, consistent with the historical evolution of the country, the spirit of the constitution and reunification, and the contemporary realities that warrant effective devolution of power.
Federalism offers the best prospect of instituting in Cameroon a form of democratic governance suitable for overcoming our nation's governance, institutional, socio-political, and economic development challenges.
Dr. Simon Monzo, during his keynote address, condemned the recent killings in the Northwest and Southwest regions, while reminding the stakeholders for the need of a negotiated settlement to end the war.
By contrast, a negotiated settlement is sure to result in the adoption of federalism. By nature, federalism is the highest level of decentralized governance. It is the point at which tolerance, mutual respect, fair play, solidarity, and cohesion in our society meet.
Responding to questions from media professionals during the virtual press conference on whether Francophones are comfortable with federalism, members made it clear that they are tackling federation from the historical, constitutional, and contemporary perspectives.
Whether you Francophones don't like it, you should have objected, because if the Francophone had said in 1961, we don't want to join with former Southern Cameroons and become a federation, then the option of independence as a sovereign state or as part of Nigeria would have become actual to the people of former Southern Cameroons. Since the people of East Cameroon agreed that let us come together as brothers and sisters and figure out how we are going to live, the Constitution of 1961 was not perfect, but it was perfectible. The referendum of 1972 was not a means of perfecting that contract. It made the contract worse, and it made the unity of the country endangered.
Members also cleared the air on a possible referendum and many surveys that have been carried out by groups and individuals which reveal majority of Southern Cameroonians want to leave the union.
Saying that if we are to survive as a country and as a nation, we must be a constitutional democracy. And that constitution, the contract for our reunification, it says no to separation. It says no to the unitary state. So these two positions are not to be accepted. Even if you have 100%, that vote cannot take place. The president of Cameroon does not have the authority to put a referendum before the people of Northwest and Southwest to choose to separate. The Constitution does not give him that power, and we should not allow him to continue to get power that he does not have. So this is a very important point that we may want to take home, that the polls we might see, if you ask the question, how are you going to get that independence? Yes, if Northwest and Southwest wants to obtain independence by winning a war, they can wage that war of independence. If they are victorious, no law is going to apply in that circumstance. But as you and I may know, that war is unlikely to be won in 20, 30, or 40 years.
There is no sovereign state in the world where the United Nations or anybody else would go in there and conduct a referendum without the consent of those in power. None. And we do not see at present, realistically, how the regime in Yaoundé would accept that a referendum be conducted, the outcome of which they know, like you and me, would be that we separate.
The coalition ended by calling upon all Cameroonians, especially those of the Northwest and Southwest regions, at home and abroad, to actively and collectively participate in their endeavor to re-establish a federal system of governance in Cameroon.
We move to the Southwest region, where the women wing of the Fanji Development and Cultural Association met in Limbe over the weekend for an elective General Assembly. Joy Ngong gives details.
Women are generally considered as an indispensable factor for community development. It is for this reason that the Fanji Women Development and Cultural Association took the initiative to organize themselves into a well-structured national bureau for an effective delivery of developmental projects.
We came to Limbe to set the pace for this our cultural group. Yes, that's the female wing of Fatca. As it goes, you know, women have emancipated, and it's time for us to also keep abreast the necessary innovations. That is why we are here today.
Upon election, the first ever national bureau already has a handful of projects in the pipeline.
We have to carry out projects. The projects will be in three phases: educational, financial projects, developmental projects. For educational, to encourage children who are going to school; financial, to make women to be able to produce more money, to make more money, so that they can be financially stable these difficult times in Cameroon.
The Fanji women can equally count on the support of their men, as the #1 man in the community, the paramount ruler of Bafanji, pledged in his full support for the initiative and the valorization of their role in community development.
Behind every successful man is a powerful man. behind every successful organization is the presence of a successful women organization. That is why we are here today, to make sure that Bafang, the Development and Cultural Association of Bafang, should be complete so that women should be part and parcel for every society that has development as its ultimate must involve women.
The Fanji Women Development and Cultural Association calls on the entire population to rally behind them and set the pace for development in Bafanji.
The Menchum Journalists Union over the weekend in Yaoundé officially presented to other members an exco of 7 members elected with Cham Victor as president. Details with Charles Kebwa.
A new union, the Menchum Journalists Union Meju, goes into action at a time the ongoing armed conflict in the northwest region has affected all divisions, including Menchum Division, which now need team effort from the people of the division to start reach out for peace. Meju swinging into action Friday, November 19 in Yaoundé for recognition and future collaboration, officially presented to other members associations an exco of 7 members elected with Cham Victor as president.
It is the mandate of peace. Peace is the new weapon to unite Meju, to unite Menchum journalists, and of course, to use peace to achieve justice and unity. I think it's time for us to come together as one people with one common future. I think the vision we have is very simple. Without peace, we can't achieve nothing. So I think that now is the moment for us to bury our differences and come together as one. Like it or not, Meju has come to promote peace. Peace is promoted yesterday, peace is promoting today, and peace will promote tomorrow.
Meju, created in 2001 with aim to rally Menchum journalists, the association is apolitical, non-profit making, non-denominational, non-tribal, as well as not based on gender, with motto promoting best practices with the journalism profession. The newly elected president has as mission to transform mindset through effective rural communication for things to move better.
We expect them, as they have really confirmed, we expect them to bring out some of those positive, we are talking about Menchum Journalists Union. There should be positivity at the level of Menchum Division, at the level of the Northwest, the level of Cameroon in general. Let the journalists who are from that extraction see how they can change the present dispensation and to see that things move better than they were before.
The Menchum Journalists Union, Meju, with 18 articles as rules and regulations governing the union, Kamasej National President Jude Viban, happy most Meju members are of Kamasej, assured Meju of collaboration if need be. He was particular as need to synergize efforts towards development and peace. To Benedict Ndingwan, Director of Communication at Camtel, he equally assured Meju of offers and support to meet their objectives as a union.
And out of the country, at least 107 bodies have been found in 2 villages in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo after attacks by the Cooperative for the Development of Congo militant group, abbreviated as CODECO. Reports say the bodies were found in the villages of Drodo and Lagu and surrounding areas in Jugu territory, following attacks by CODECO on Monday, November 22. According to local officials, the CODECO militia targeted the site hosting internally displaced persons in Dordo. And that was it for today's edition of Prime Flash. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. You'll get details and more stories in our 6:30 p.m. Prime News with Fon Quinta. Coming up next is In the House with Alain Sama and her ladies. Have a nice time. Bye.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Media Prime. New